Welcome to another episode of The Blitz. I'll be your host once again, Bryan Greer, and today I will be going over the Dallas Cowboys running back situation going into the 2015 season. Who should start at running back? I think this is a more serious question for most people than who will be the next president of the United States. I know that DeMarco Murray, who now is a Philadelphia Eagle, had a breakout season last year for the Dallas Cowboys, toting the ball 392 times for 1,845 yards and 13 touchdowns. This was an incredible year by DeMarco Murray, and as we all know, the Cowboys are now in a situation where they're having to replace that kind of production. And I believe that was a MVP season because, as we know, that made Tony Romo look a whole lot better having that kind of run production behind him. And now that he is gone, their options are very slim, but they do have a few different guys that they're going to try to go to. But me personally, I believe that the Cowboys should have drafted a running back this year. They had very deep options at that position with Todd Gurley, Duke Johnson, Tevin Coleman, Melvin Gordon, Jay Ajayi. They had a lot of guys that were coming out of the draft this year that they could have gone and tried to draft, got up in the draft for, and they chose not to. So now they are stuck with guys that they had from last year on the roster, along with signing the mediocre, ill-performed Darren McFadden from the Oakland Raiders that they signed all season. I'm not too much of a fan of that move, but they have brought him in to use as another option at running back. So right now, the first option that the Cowboys have at running back is Joseph Randle, who, as we all know, last year in his few opportunities looked very good, running the ball 51 times for 343 yards for a clip of 6.7 yards a carry. Now, Joseph Randle, as we know, also has had some field troubles, stealing underwear from a mall at one time, also being in domestic violence situation. This guy seems to be in a trouble situation. Seems to always find trouble, let me say. And this doesn't seem to ever get his head right this last couple of years. And I don't know why, actually. He is still on the team. I know that he seems to have some ability, but he is just not to be trusted, in my opinion. Now, as far as on the field, he has said that in comments about DeMarco Murray that he left, quote, meat on the bone as far as running the ball versus him, who he believes he will have taken all the meat off the bone as far as running the ball last year, and really thinks he's the guy to run the ball and be the number one option at running back. So he's going to have his opportunity to prove it in the training camp in the preseason, I believe, to be the number one guy. And I don't know if he can do that because, like I said, it's different coming in to give a rest for DeMarco Murray last year versus being the main guy, and he has never proven he can do that. Now, as far as the next option for the Dallas Cowboys is Darren McFadden that I spoke about earlier, who with the Oakland Raiders never showed to be much of a guy who could do much. And he last year with the Raiders ran the ball only for 155 times for 534 yards at an average of 3.4 a carry and only 2 touchdowns. Yeah, that's just not going to work. Darren McFadden has just always underperformed since he came to the NFL. We've expected big things from him out of Arkansas, and that just did not happen for him. And I don't think he's just going to be the option. I'm not really feeling good about him. Maybe come in for a few carries, but as far as the number one option, they're not going to go very far if that does happen. So I believe that with Darren McFadden, they're not going to go far if that is the case. I know they have Lance Dunbar, who is a very speedy back, but I think he is more of a split back, gets a few carries here and there. I don't know if he's really the guy you want to go with as far as being the main option. Very fast in the open field and everything, but I think you can only trust him for at most 10 carries a game. Now, the Cowboys have also brought in some guys this offseason that used to be with the team in Felix Jones. Yes, that's right. The Felix Jones that we all thought was going to replace Emmitt Smith as far as the next guy in line. And that did just not work out very well, as we know. And in the OTAs, they brought him in for a tryout. And also, they brought in a few other guys. Another guy that they've been talking about is Ray Rice, who we all know has had a lot of issues with domestic violence, is out of the league right now. But I just definitely do not think he should be in the conversation. Not so much because of the domestic violence situation, which would be a hot topic, especially being with the Cowboys, but because he ran the ball and caught the ball between the years of 2010 and 12 over 1,200 times. And if you know that amount of carries and passes that he caught, that is a tremendous amount. I believe that's the reason that he's not in the NFL, is because he is used up. Because in the NFL, you know that once you hit 30, it's normally all downhill, and Ray Rice isn't even there yet, but he just looked like the last time he was with the Baltimore Ravens that he was just not the same player and just had been just totally used up. So I don't think he would be a good option either. Like I said, I believe that a guy like Duke Johnson, Jay Ajayi, that they had an opportunity to get in the third round would have been perfect. Main reason is you're younger at that position. It was DeMarco Murray left and would have cost as much as we know. DeMarco Murray was going to cost a whole lot of money, and we know he's very injury prone. And I just think that that was not a good move for the Cowboys going forward, because if you had paid for DeMarco Murray that, he better produce. And with Tony Romo's contract, that really puts you in a bind down the road if DeMarco Murray gets injured and doesn't produce at the same rate. So that was something that I didn't believe that the Cowboys should have been stuck with. They had options in the draft, chose not to. So now I think they're just going to be in a situation like platoon. I don't think they're going to have a solid, bona fide starting running back this year. They're going to be between Joseph Randle, Lance Dunbar, and Darren McFadden. Now, some people say that Ryan Williams, as we know, on the practice squad right now, will come out and show people that he is ready to be the main guy. I don't know about that. He's looked good last year in the preseason and OTAs, but that's the difference between that and the regular season where you're the main guy toting the ball 20 to 25 times a game. So we're going to see what Ryan Williams can do coming up in the training camp and preseason. But like I said, I think this year they're going to be just having guys in and out of the running back position between 3 and 4 guys. So I don't know if that's going to bode well, because as an offense, you want to know who is the guy that's running the ball, because each of these guys runs the ball a different type of way, and it's a different blocking scheme for the offensive line. So they really need to figure it out, because as we all know, the pipe dream of Adrian Peterson was not going to happen. It was just not going to happen. I believe that a lot of people thought that was, but there was no way the Vikings were going to allow Adrian Peterson to be traded or anything like that, because that would have set a precedent. Adrian Peterson will be making his $13 million in Minnesota now that he ended his holdout, or whatever that is. So now he will be with the Vikings, and all Cowboy fans, we just have to just deal with what we've got now. Could have got a running back, like I said, in the draft. So that's where they're at, and it's going to be interesting to see going into the training camp and preseason how they shake out and who becomes the starting running back. So with that being said, I want to hear your guys' thoughts on who you think the starting running back should be. Should the Cowboys have got a running back in the draft? Do you agree with me that they should have gone after a guy like Duke Johnson, Jay Ajayi, Tevin Coleman? Because I think that's what they should have done. Take it easy until next time, and always, as always, subscribe to Unrivaled Multimedia. Take it easy.